Hi everyone, it's Donna, and today's video is going to be on eyeshadow. Now I find that a lot of women are just afraid of eyeshadow, of putting anything on their eyes, and most of it is because they just have never been told properly how to do it. I always believe knowledge is power, and so I'm going to show you just a very simple beginner technique, and hopefully you'll have some makeup at home, some eyeshadow, and you can try it out. So the first thing you need to know about your eyeshadow is you never want to start off with your darkest color. It's kind of like building. Like if you are an artist and you're watercoloring, you never just go into your painting with the darkest color. You're constantly building those vibrant colors and blending the edges and smoothing them. And that is just how eyeshadow is. So I'm going to be doing a mixture of browns. And so because I am more mature, it's really hard for mature women to wear glitzy, shiny, sparkly shadow because it would tend to draw attention to your wrinkles. The best thing to do for all women to keep your shadow on all day long is to use a primer. So I'm going to be using a primer on my eyelids. If you don't have a primer, what you can do is put concealer on your eyelids and pat it down with some setting powder, and that will do the same thing as primer. But the primer is going to go ahead and fill in any of the little lines or wrinkles that you might have, as well as give you a nice even foundation so that all the shadow that you apply will have the same texture going on. There won't be rough patches, as well as really keep your shadow on all day. Now the best thing to do is let your primer dry for 5 minutes. So with that, I will keep talking and hopefully we can get this to dry. So when you're doing your eyeshadow, you're going to pick your lightest color and apply it over the entire lid and brow bone all the way up to the eyebrows. So I know it hasn't been 5 minutes, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and start applying this. I'm going to be using my, if you're not into having a lot of brushes, that's fine. You've got one brush, you know, just take a paper towel and just make sure you clean it in between applications. But I'm going to use my deluxe, let's see, what is this one called? My liner shader, nope, my angled brush. And there's a sponge on one side but angled on the other. I'm going to take my lightest color. I'm using right now our Addiction palette. I'm using a cream color called Elated, and you want to apply it all over the entire eye, up to the eyebrow, and including the crease and the lid. And you want to do that on both sides. This is really going to help with the dark color having something to blend into as well. The next thing that you're going to want to do is your inner eye, because you want something very, very light in the inner eye, and you want it to go from the corner, and you want to stop about right before midway. This is going to help to blend when you put your darker color on, and also it's going to brighten your eyes. So I'm using from a different palette that I have. It's a little bit brighter and it's called Tender. And I'm going to go, you can see it's a little bit brighter. I'm going to go right in my corner. And out just a little. And it's just going to brighten up that inner eye. Okay, perfect. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your crease brush and you're going to do exactly what it says. You're going to take a dark color and you're going to go in the crease. I'm going to use a matte color. It's called Chipper. It's right here in the center. It's a brown. And what you're going to do is there is one technique where you can actually just go in the crease, but the one I'm going to show you is you're going to go right here at the outer lid. And what I want you to do is just go up and down all the way to the end. But watch this. You're just kind of filling in, like we just did this, the inner part of the eye with the light shadow. We're going to take the next half of the eyelid and do it with the dark. But when you get to the end, look what I want you to do. I want you to go up into your crease. All right? I'm going to hold my lid open a little so you can see it. So now, instead of starting in the crease and going down, I want you to start with finishing your eye and then going all the way down into the crease. All right? So that is going to be our transition color here. Okay? It's going to... I notice I didn't reapply. What I'm doing now is, now that most of the product is off, I'm just kind of blending the edges so that they're nice and soft. And in that way, you can't really go wrong with your eyeshadow because you're putting the most concentration, instead of right in the center, on the edge of your eye. So let's do this eye. I'm going to fill in this half of my eyelid. This is just like a real basic eyeshadow application. Now, hold my lid up. Now that I've done it here, I'm just going to follow my inner crease. Now I'm not going to reapply. I still have product. I'm just going to kind of go over until I feel that it's getting less and less product. And then what I'm doing is blending it out. Just kind of smoothing those rough edges. Now I'm going to come back in and blend out this into the darker into the lighter, so that there is not a straight line, that it's more blended. Do it on this side, blend that out. And then you can actually layer this once you've got it blended out, as dark as you want or as light as you want. Now what I like to do is finish up with either concealer on your brow bone, or taking your light color again, maybe your inner eye color if you want a little shimmer, but just putting that light color right at the brow bone. In fact, I'm going to take my inner shimmer. Just so that you have that little bit of shimmer. The light catches it and pops it. So that is like a very, very natural looking, simple video on just your basic eyeshadow technique. And if anyone wants to see something a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more bold, or another different application technique, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks.